Good afternoon, everybody. Some Dumb Guy here, and I'm in for episode 3 of SumDumWatch, where I go through all of the films and television that I have watched from my own personal library, as well as any theatrical viewings that I happen to go for the week. This episode will cover October 14th through the 20th, so I'm getting to the point where I'm getting caught up now. I'm back on current week. Once I get there, I'm hoping to make these a regular Monday release to cover the week that preceded that Monday. So let's get the ball rolling. I think this particular batch is going to be a little bit speedier as far as what I have to offer, and you'll see why momentarily. So we're going to get started with movies, and this was featured in one of my recent unboxing videos. I got this from Via Vision, via the land down under, and I needed to check this one out because I could only get it locally here in the US in DVD. No other options were available, so I went in and I picked up the Blu-ray special edition of 1984's Dune. Let me just turn my lighting off here so this will actually hopefully come through a little better. It's got this lenticular cover here, which, there we go, Mr. Head Nod. That's not coming through very well, I'm sorry for that. But yeah, nice fancy box set. Really hard slipcover case, and this little envelope here which contains a bunch of still photos from the film, which I care absolutely nothing about whatsoever. I purchased this because this limited edition release, let's see what side is that showing on here, includes both the theatrical and extended TV versions there. And the extended TV version, the preferred version, I think by most, and domestically in the US, is only available on DVD. Nothing better than that. And yeah, I own a Blu-ray from Arrow of the theatrical cut. It's not my preferred version. Got to see that actually, the theatrical release, a couple of months ago for the 40th anniversary in the theater, and that was the first time I'd seen the theatrical cut in a good many years, and just reaffirmed why this is the superior one to me. So that's that. You know, the thing that really gets me, this may or may not be the topic for a future video, if it's even worth discussing independently on its own, is what is it with European releases, or let's just say UK and Australia specifically, because I don't know how widespread it is. Why do they insist on Blu-ray cases being so much thicker than a standard US case? I don't understand that. Why make your releases take up more shelf space than they absolutely need to? One of my little pet peeves that I've had for quite some time. Second and only movie from my library that we'll be covering this episode. But before we do, hold on one second. We've got a visitor. She hasn't visited recently for any of my videos. She usually likes to walk by when she hears me talking. But she's been a lazy butt, huh? She's been taking a lot of naps while I've been recording, and she has not swung by. Well, she just happened to cruise on by on her way back from her food dish. So here she is. This is Sugar, for those who haven't seen her before. She's my little rescue kitty. Oh, careful girl. As you were. Anyway, my only other movie from my library that I watched for this particular week, kind of a guilty pleasure movie. I find myself popping it in fairly regularly, usually late at night when I'm not overly tired. Sometimes I make it all the way through, sometimes I don't. But it's something that I find myself watching like after 10 o'clock. And this night was no exception. And this would be Dante's Peak. Now, I know case is probably looking a little bit funny, and we'll get into that at some point. I really enjoy this movie, and it's a fun watch for me. I've always very much enjoyed it. Sarah Connor meets 007 on a mountain. All right. Next, this one here also featured in one of my unboxing videos recently, and much to my dismay, something I purchased on Amazon, but from a third-party seller, goes by the name of Games and Electronics, if memory serves. Cracked this thing open for the week to go ahead and burn through it, watch it, because I knew it was going to be a short watch and get it done in a day or two. Bootleg DVD release for TV season, and it was the Walking Dead spin-off, The Ones Who Live. Now, right away when I got this, I think I paid like $17 and some change for it. I was suspicious of it, and the reason for that is clear case. While I know that's not incredibly uncommon for TV shows, I've never seen a single season of Walking Dead original or any of the spin-off shows come in a clear case. When I opened it up, I know this probably won't come through very well. The artwork on the disc looks sketchy to me. Artwork on the insert, perfectly legit. But this just screamed, holy crap, take another look at it. So I pop open one of the discs. Guess what? It don't look so hot either. So I start twirling it around in the light. And what do I see but a DVD-R designation on the center ring there. Studios don't do DVD-Rs. They do pressed discs. And of course, I pop that sucker in. It plays, it runs just fine. I was able to go and watch every episode. Subtitles looked generic, as they always do on bootlegs, as far as the captions go. You can tell those weren't official. So, I left a little nasty gram as far as the feedback on that particular seller. Reached out to Amazon, looking to return this as a bootleg, and none of the criteria for a return, as far as you're selecting your options, met anything, because I wanted big red flags going up at Amazon as well, alerting them to know this particular seller is peddling bootleg copies. And it wasn't there. So I reached out to Amazon customer service instead, explained the situation to them. They promptly just refunded my money and told me to keep this. So here it is. It won't stay in my library. I will monitor the price on that and purchase it from an official legit, I know to be legit source next time when I can get it at a comparable price. Now I get my money back. And then this one will be whatever. But I'll hold on to it in the meantime. I'm not likely to rewatch it before I can replace it anyway. Maybe I would by the time season 2 comes around. I'm assuming they are. But as far as the actual show goes, not too terribly bad, especially considering some of the other spin-offs that I've gone through recently and the quality of those. It was good to see Rick and Michonne back together. I do enjoy their chemistry as far as these characters go. I do appreciate that they're finally starting to tie up some loose ends and some quote-unquote Easter eggs that have sprinkled their way through the shows. That's good. I felt like, though, how do I put this, that the two of them together overcame challenges a little too easily when compared to the things that fans of this particular series have seen over the last 2011, so was this 13 years now that these have been going on? If 2011, is that when The Walking Dead started? I don't know, just this, what the storyline should have been, as monumental and impactful as it should be, got wrapped up just a little too quickly, a little too easily, with a nice little bow, with like a almost like a 5-minute epilogue. And it was just like, oh, there it is, that's nice. I think they're doing a season 2 on this, and I don't know where that goes. I don't know if it is almost, in essence now, season 2 of The Ones Who Live is unofficial season 12 of The Walking Dead, is almost like where it looks like it could go. But I don't know. I don't regret it. I didn't dislike it, but, you know, as with all things, not perfect, having issues. Next up, we're going to talk about perfect without any issues, and what a joy that is when it comes to television. Also featured on a recent unboxing, and no preamble here. I'm just going to dive right into this one because it is what it is. This is season 1 of Arcane on Blu-ray. This is one of the best television experiences I've had, maybe ever, if not, I mean, certainly fairly recently. I loved Wednesday, but I wouldn't call it perfect. That was a great season of television. This is a perfect season of television. 9 episodes. The artwork, the animation, the styling of this is incredible. I cannot praise this enough. It is absolutely beautiful as far as a work of art goes. It blew my mind as a visual spectacle. Narratively speaking, as far as the story it was being told, compelling. The characters are great. The chemistry, the interaction, the believability, as you're learning to explore and become acquainted with the world in which this takes place, as well as getting to know all the characters involved. The only thing that threw me off a little bit, which is not a complaint, was there's a couple of time jumps. And you're looking at a 9-episode season. You get a time jump immediately after the opening scene. And then I believe there are 2 more, I want to say, at least 1, maybe 2 more. It's a little bit jarring for a second. Within a few minutes, you're just like, okay, I'm accepting it. You get reintroduced to everything you need to be relatively quickly, and it's fine. I got the Blu-ray on this one instead of the 4K, although both were available, because Shout Factory was doing the release, and 2 things. One, it was grossly overpriced. I mean, I get 9 episodes. I'm not paying something like $45 for a season of television. And most of the releases were dominated by steelbooks, which I also am not a fan of. I don't think they're worth it. I don't like that they are even just slightly thicker than a standard case. So, completely happy with this Blu-ray. If the 4K looks better than this, I can't even imagine what that would be. This is flawless. This is beautiful. If you have not seen Arcane, please do so. I don't know how it looks in streaming. I don't support streaming. I don't approve of streaming. I certainly don't recommend it or endorse it, but you know, you be you and pursue this and whatever, but I just can't recommend this enough. But if it were me, I'd own it. I'd get it, because even though it aired on Netflix, and they will probably continue to have it on there, as any of you who stream know, movies, television on streaming services, they don't last forever. They get edited, they get censored, they go away. This is mine for life. No one's taking it from me. And it's mine. And it's mine. And it's mine. Uh-oh. I goofed. So I said that I was done with movies, and I had this arranged wrong on my stack. So I need to revisit something that we had going on from last week, which was my Nightmare on Elm Street collection on my Blu-ray here. For this week, I continued on with this franchise and watched 6, Freddy's Dead, and Wes Craven's New Nightmare. I hate Freddy's Dead. I've hated it since the day I watched it in the theater when it first came out. It still sucks. It sucks as a sequel. It sucks as a standalone movie, which it almost kind of is. It's a bad movie all around, and I don't think it has a single redeeming quality. A New Nightmare, I watched on cable shortly after it came out. I don't remember what that was, like 97 maybe. And I felt it a fresh enough take, and the whole meta aspect of being in the real world with the actual actors of the original film as opposed to their characters was refreshing, and I remember enjoying it then. This time when I watched it, I was bored. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't have a good time. I didn't have fun with it. I didn't find the Freddy character, or the demon that is presenting itself as Freddy in this film, to be nearly as scary or creepy as I originally thought, because I was thinking, oh, it's kind of, at least in that regard, a return to form where they're trying to make Freddy spooky and scary again, and it didn't accomplish that for me at all this time. And yeah, sorry to say that that's gonna knocked off my list of tolerable Friday 30 Nightmare on Elm Street films. It used to be, for me, it was 1, 2, and A New Nightmare. Now it's 1, 2, and kind of partially 3. It is what it is. So moving on. Incredible Hulk Blu-ray Season 5. As you know, I'm already working way through this. I have started Season 5. It's only 7 episodes, very short season before it got canceled. I'm plugging my way through it. I'm expecting it to be done for the next go around as far as my next episode goes. This is a corny season. I almost wondered, did that contribute to the cancellation, or did they already know by the time they were filming these episodes that it was being canceled or already canceled, and they just give the IDGAF attitude? I don't know, but I still love it and I still adore it. Friends, still working on that in the background. I just finished Season 7. I am now working on Season 8 on my Blu-rays. There was one episode, I'm not sure if it was the end of Season 7 or the beginning of Season 8 now, but I think it was the end of Season 7. I believe it was the scene where Monica and Chandler are discussing writing their wedding vows. It looked really rough, I was sorry to say. I was like, whoa, but it fortunately went away real quick. It was just a couple shots. Otherwise, the Blu-ray is still looking really clean on that one. And still, as you all know from the previous 2 episodes, I'm still working on this. I am now starting the last episode of Season 2, which is, I believe, The Expanse, and so we'll move into Season 3 immediately after, which will be the first season to feature an entire 1-story arc throughout the course of that season. Still loving this one, really enjoying it, and always a pleasure to revisit every year when I do. Last but not least, this is running longer than I actually expected it to, my lone theatrical viewing for this week, and it was, we had a 35th, was it 35th? Yes, anniversary theatrical re-release of We'll see how that's going to come through right in front of me. We'll just go like this, and then we'll just go boom, and then you'll see, hey, like that. Back to the Future Part 2. Went to the theater for that one. First time I've seen it in a theater since 1890. Ugh, I can talk words, make words good. Hi, kitty. 1989, when this originally came out. Enjoyed it then. Seen it many times at home, and enjoyed it now. Really hoping that next year, being the 35th anniversary of Part 3, that gets a theatrical release too, and hoping that they actually bring it to a theater closer to me. Went to a theater I don't normally go to, but that's okay. Really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed the theatrical experience once again. Was kind of sad that not more people were there. A lot of families as far as that goes. I saw some people bringing in their young kids, so I was happy to see the next generation being introduced to these wonderful films. I'm a big fan of the entire trilogy. But that's it. We're all done for this week, this round, this episode. All the stuff and things are done. As always, thank you for watching. Appreciate your comments. If you've seen any of these, you're watching any of these, want to yell at me for anything that I liked or didn't like, that's cool too. What have you been watching this week? If you want to share, drop those little comments down here. We like to engage. So until next time, thank you very much for being here, and I will see you in the next episode. Take care. Good night.